first of all, this is kind of crazy. Before we go, let's touch on this really quick. Pause. No one understands the entry list. Yesterday, I had dinner with Carew, Alfredo, and Andrade, and the Los Cabos 250 is next week. So everyone is like, we're talking about the entry system at challenges and ATPs, and it's insane to me that it's none of our first years on tour, and we don't fully understand it. Like, guys are like, they're annoyed because if you sign up for a 250 and you sign up for a challenger, if you enter the challenger, qualies or main, it withdraws you from the 250, like the alternate. It'll take you out.
So how do you hedge your bets?
Once you enter a list, they take you out the other list. So like, Los Cabos dropped off. Morani Buzij didn't sign for a challenger next week, so now he can take a gamble and go to Los Cabos to try and get in. But like Carew and Andy and like Alfredo, these guys, they can't go because they're committed to Granby already. You know,
that's a bad system. You should be able to. They should incentivize you to play up.
Correct. That's exactly what I was saying last night. You should be incentivized to play up, and it's just it's tough. Even for doubles, like the doubles list fell way off. How can you predict that a list is going to fall way off? And me, for example, if I wanted to go and sign, I could because I didn't get into the 10 teams in Granby. But let's say Finn Reynolds and James Watt, they're the number 1 seed in Granby. They can't go from Granby now to Los Cabos because they're already committed to Granby. So it's like I don't know what the solution there is, but I just think it's too many different like lists and too many different like dates and stuff. And they need to make it more consistent so people can plan better.
They need to consolidate all of these things into one thing that just flows and it funnels like it just so that you are incentivized to play the highest level you possibly can play every week. And if you want to choose not to play it and you go down, that's up to you, unless you have a certain ranking. But I think that the fact that you get into a qualies list of a challenger you can't go to a ATP 250 makes zero sense.
And they must have some logical reason for it. You know, I always do this. They must.
They must, right?
They have to. But I think at the bare minimum, they should do a better job of explaining to people why that is, or just making it simpler. Because you're telling me that Carew, Andrade, Alfredo, and myself, it's none of our first years on tour, and we're still like discussing it and trying to figure. And I know a lot of people were talking about it this week. Like a lot of people were talking about it this week.
Do you think you're gonna say no for sure? But do you think that so once the PTPA thing started to catch the news, right? Like the lawsuit and this and that, and players looking for this and that, and like let's say, Pospisil and the Nassar, I'm not sure his last name, sorry, went on Roddick and stuff. It got like a lot of publicity, the PTPA movement. Then you started to see like stuff like the baseline program came out, and then you start seeing. I've seen a lot of players who are like ranked like 100 to 200 posting on their story like the baseline program helped me so much, blah 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 blah. And it's like, dog, you started playing 6 months ago. Like, what do you mean it helped you so much? You didn't even qualify for the thing. Like, what are we talking about? And then you see the WTA and the ATP.
Rumor has it that they were told to post that, otherwise they can get in trouble.
And then you see the ATP and WTA hired this. They collabed on posts with this guy who does the cool sketch, and it's like he just shows how decisions are made in ATP and WTA and how points work and these things. But it only highlights the positive parts and why the ATP is so efficient and why WTA is so efficient. And it's like you're missing like so much of the picture here of the things people are complaining about. It's like it seems like there are like media games being played, which is crazy that's happening in tennis now. Like you see it in other things, in like politics and all these places, but it seems like propaganda is a strong word, but it's like they're trying to put content out that makes the ATP and WTA and these other stakeholders look better to sort of combat the public sentiment that is starting to grow against them. So it's like, it's just a funny thing that I'm noticing, and I wonder if you see the same. Obviously you do.
Yeah, I see it a little bit. How about we just not
Talk
How
about it.
about we just not give wildcards to people who don't play competitive tennis? How about we help the schedule so that people who want to go and play a 250 and they finally have the opportunity to get into one, they're allowed to go and play one? How about we do that? You know, like how about we do that sort of stuff? You know, how about we stop the bettors from going insane in my DMs? How about that?
Or
one?
at least give us some of that better money. What you talking
Oh
about?
my goodness, can we stop that? I mean, this, yeah.
Hey,
Look,
this
only,
has
like,
been.
I'll just say before we done this,
Yeah.
the only thing like only thing I don't enjoy when we talk about these topics is that I don't really have the solutions, and I've never actually talked to. Like I talked a little bit to Brad Taylor, I think his name. He's the ATP supervisor. He was explaining to us the entry system like 2 years ago in Pittsburgh. Because I remember we had the same problem. People were trying to leave Pittsburgh 15 to go and play DC 500. I don't even know how that's even possible, but they were doing that and guys were getting in. But people were upset because some people the next week, they were committed to Lexington. So they have to go play Lexington and they can't go and play DC. So it went from like the guys who were like 200, 300, 400 maybe, they can't go and play DC because they got into a challenger. But the guys below them that weren't going to get into the challenger didn't sign. And now they can go play DC. So like, yeah, I just don't enjoy, you know, talking about these topics and not having the answers. I don't want to be like a complainer. So like maybe at some point if we can have someone on the podcast that can come and discuss
that would be cool to pick
you know?
somebody's brain and see what exactly they think is going on or whatever's going on. But
that you know, I would think that's a better way to go about it than like posting these videos about the prize money breakdown, about the bonus pool and like these kind of things. I think it would be better if, like, you don't even have to do it on ours. Go to Roddick. Like, go to Roddick or go to, like, Nothing Major. They have bigger platforms than we do. And just have a conversation about why. Like, just make a list. Someone make a list about the questions, like the entry system, the bonus pool, the prize money, the scheduling, like all this stuff. And just talk about it. And maybe
just be transparent,
give a peace of mind to people.
Which is difficult to do, but yeah, man, we would just just thinking over here. But
Thanks
anyway,
for watching this clip. If you want to watch the full episode, the link is in the description down below.